All right, it's happy days over here with the Bitcoin price action launching back up off of the lows after having this nice 1 hour regular RSI bull div at our big supportive level here on the chart. And I think there's a very good case to be made that Bitcoin is going to head on up all the way to all-time highs now after reclaiming this daily EMA and the bullish structural edge here and closing out all of those long positions, flushing that leverage. This was a very bullish pullback to see, right? Wicking below these previous lows and now getting back above. We're starting to make the higher highs now on the daily time frame, and we have those structural macro higher highs there that are going to turn this into a bullish structure and potential breakout to all-time highs in the very short-term future here. Are we out of the woods yet though? And not necessarily. We still are at resistance right now, so it's definitely not time to FOMO on the charts. We gotta make sure we can actually reclaim this big point of control. This is the biggest level on the chart right now, sitting at around $63,000. If we can clear through this gray box I have here on the chart, then we're going to be set up to march on up to potentially all-time highs. Will we have to worry about this next gray box that I have? Yes, the 67K region is also a big level of potential concern. Sweep into this, right? We could see something that is actually bearish there, and we could enter the bear market, right? There's a bunch of possibilities that could play out, but I would say if we can confirm above this point of control, which it is looking like we should be able to do, that our next target is going to be all the way up here at around $75,000. So yeah, it's looking good. We jump in here to the hourly time frame. You can see this big point of control is currently being flipped into support. A couple hourly candle closes back testing that. Definitely not confirmation though. We need a bit more time spent above this level for me to be confident that this isn't going to act as resistance. But overall, not bad. Love the bullish volatility we got overnight. I will say, because we're going into the weekend, probably expect that volatility to slow down. We're back in this big volume cluster. Wouldn't be surprised if we just chop sideways in here for the next couple of days. Probably going to be pretty boring. Not too much we can really go off of until we do have the market reopening back on Monday. But let's talk about those markets as we do close out the week here. Starting off with the Russell this time, because the Russell is back above its point of control, looking very, very nice. We talked about how this was structurally set up to potentially be the low. Everything was looking real nice yesterday, and we got that real nice push up here on the Russell 2K, getting back above this very important level. Let's see if this can actually hold, if we can hold that as support, and then go ahead and march on up to all-time highs here on the Russell, which I do think is potentially the next move. I've been saying we're probably going to make all-time highs, but now that we have 3 taps of this value area high, the next tap will likely break. You don't normally just tap a level 4 times and not break it, because every time you do touch a level, it is weakening that level. So definitely pretty bullish over here on the Russell. Assuming this can play out, we're likely to see price discovery here, which is going to be extremely bullish for your risk on assets and Bitcoin as well, because it seems that Bitcoin is correlating mostly with the Russell right now compared to the S&P 500. But the S&P continuing to break out here into all-time highs in the daily time frame, just looking very, very strong. Not really showing that it wants to slow down just yet. So yeah, it appears that October is now in effect. Let's see if the seasons are going to play out like they historically do, and we'll see how long this rally can last. If it's anything like the last cycle, we'll probably be topping out around springtime. I'm a bit more conservative though. I'm going to be very cautious immediately right here within the next couple of weeks if we see warning signs of Bitcoin topping out at all-time highs, right? If we see Bitcoin just start charging up to an all-time high right now, which is very possible, I will be cautious of this playing out. It could happen very, very quickly. A swing failure of the all-time highs right at around election time. Trump gets elected. That could mark the top in the market. Not because I think Trump is a horrible president or anything like that, but I do think when you get those bullish catalysts, everybody thinks the economy is going to be great with him in office. It could definitely be used as exit liquidity, because anything a politician is going to do is going to have a massive lagging effect. It's not going to just immediately apply, and that stuff will get priced in right now rather than when the election actually happens. But we'll see. That's kind of my current thesis, as I've been saying. I think a swing failure of all-time highs or distribution at all-time highs, something like this, abstractly, I do believe is in the future, and that is where the most amount of people get wrong-footed as the bears capitulate back into the market and the bulls think we are back testing the all-time highs to break out into multiple of six figures. So we'll see what happens. I believe we're in the final phases of the market where we are going to see the risk on start to explode, which you already are seeing, not necessarily in the altcoin market, although the altcoin market is shaping up very nicely here for an explosive move, but the meme coins are already starting to go crazy. We're seeing a lot of stuff up 5, 10, 20, 30x from just a couple of weeks ago, and those aren't showing any signs of slowing down right now. So a potential super cycle in the meme coin sector going into all-time highs would be a massive warning sign to us that the top is coming in. So while I do think there's some real exciting times ahead, let's stay vigilant in the markets. There's a potential this happens all real fast, and there absolutely would be a surge of euphoria if that were to play out. So definitely don't get caught up in the euphoria. Stay level-headed out there, especially right now when it comes to Bitcoin. Don't be just longing the price action, because we are still at resistance. And then real quickly, before I do end off this video, someone wanted me to cover the DXY, the dollar. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Not too much to really say, because it seems like Bitcoin, as well as the Brussels traditional finance, is disrespecting the dollar. It seems to have absolutely no correlation to price action, which is interesting. But overall, we are at what you could consider a point of control here on the dollar. You can't actually pull volume on this chart, but you could definitely see this is just a midway point. Pull fibs. We're sitting at the 0.5 from our last high. So if you were to just take a retracement into consideration, we could be retracing here on the dollar for a bit of a pullback. As well as on the hourly time frame, you can see the dollar has just really slowed down here a lot, making a bit of a distribution schematic. So I wouldn't be surprised if the dollar were to head down here. If it does continue to march up, though, seems like markets don't really care. Take into account that dollar milkshake theory could be playing out similar to 2000 dot-com bubble. So in that scenario, the dollar can run with traditional finance. But overall, I would say the dollar is looking a bit top heavy here, and I wouldn't be surprised if it pulled back. So I'm not sure if you can actually use RSI on the dollar. I haven't back tested this, but we do have some RSI bear divs coming in there as well. But you could also say you have hidden bull divs, higher lows on price, lower lows on RSI. So I would just kind of ignore that. Overall, though, just looking top heavy, looking like these lows are pretty weak. I would not be surprised to see this all get taken out to the downside, and for that to correlate with Bitcoin and all of our risk on assets to go ahead and continue to march on up with strength. But yeah, if you do have any questions about anything I talked about today, or just want to join the community for this channel, link to my Discord is in the description down below. Also have a VIP Discord. You can click that link down there as well to learn more about it, decide for yourself if it's worth your money or not. Also down there, you'll see a bunch of exchanges. Those are my exchange partners that all have their own perks and benefits and exclusive rewards and bonuses if you use my referral links to sign up. So don't miss out on that. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.